to the Kristen Kelly Show. I'm Kristen Kelly, your host. So, I've been getting quite a few tweets and Instagram comments from people wanting to know about the whole Brandy situation because I had kind of mentioned that Brandy was banned, never invited back to the Bad Girls Club. So, even though, yes, this tale I'm about to tell is about 4 years old, I would say, people want to know, so I will tell you guys. I personally really don't care, and I really don't like Brandy, so whatever, I'll tell you all about it. Alright, so we're going back in time. Going back in time. It's about 4 years ago. So I was called to go to New York for the opening of the Bad Girls Club for the very first episode. And when I went, they asked me who I was friends with because they wanted to bring someone else from the cast. I told them I was friends with this person, that person, this person. And they'd said, oh, what about Brandy? And I said, oh, I'm friends with Brandy, but she kind of drinks a lot and gets really out of control. And they were like, oh, okay, I think they felt like, oh, that's normal bad girl behavior. So we got flown to New York. It was a really fun experience. We filmed a commercial and all this stuff. So that night, we were getting ready for the premiere party, and I went to Brandy's room, and it just smelled like disgusting. There was cigarettes, she was heavily smoking, and she was screaming and really, really screaming and acting very belligerent and very over the top. So I had let the people that were coordinating the event at Oxygen know. I had messaged them, texted them, and said, hey, Brandy is really drunk, just please be aware of that. So we get into the the town car to go there. The entire time we were in the car, Brandy was just out of control. She was flashing people, she was screaming. She at one point grabbed the driver and started making out with the driver. So I'm in the back and I'm trying to control her. We're going to this premiere party, there's gonna be a lot of press. It's a big deal. They had a big screen and they were showing it. We were live tweeting and stuff. It was just a lot going on. So we're in the car, she's screaming, she's going nuts, really crazy screaming. So I'm messaging the people and I'm like, hey, because we'd gone on a radio tour. So when we were on the radio tour and we were filming this commercial, we had this girl, and I believe her name, well, I know what her name was, but I'm going to give her a different name. Let's call her Rebecca. So Rebecca was the person that was our go-to person. If we had issues, we would talk to her. She went around with us to all the different meetings. She, was kind of our babysitter for the entire time. So I'm messaging the babysitter and I'm like, hey Rebecca, Brandy's super drunk. I'm honestly kind of freaked out of her right now. I don't know what to do. So we get there, and still, I do not think that these people quite understood what I was talking about. The fact that I was repeatedly saying this. We get there, she was out of control. Out of control. I'd never seen her like that. Just drinking and going nuts and screaming, grabbing people. And there's executives, and there was fans and bloggers and vloggers in there. She just was everywhere. They had drinks there, and I was so busy doing stuff that I wasn't even drinking. She was taking shots. So at one point, someone rushes up to me and they're like, we need you to go outside because Brandy is going crazy. So I'm like, fine. So I go outside, and this is the scene I see. There's our town car that we drove there in, and the driver who Brandy had actually made out with, trying to get Brandy into the car. Brandy is screaming at the top of her lungs, her dress is all the way pulled out, her hair is all crazy, there's makeup everywhere, she's screaming, attacking the guy. And Rebecca, our person, was trying to help. And Rebecca is trying to push her in the car and trying to hold her back, and Brandy's going crazy, screaming, all this stuff. So, Brandy gets in the car, finally, in the backseat, and then Rebecca kind of gets in, and she's like, oh, I'm going to take her back to the hotel. And I was like, okay. All of a sudden, Brandy hits Rebecca. So this is our babysitter, hits her, really hits her, and the girl like turns around and starts screaming at Brandy about like, I don't know who the fuck you think you are, like don't put the hands on me, like don't touch me, like you think you're a bad girl, I'll show you a bad girl. Starts screaming at Brandy. So I'm like, okay, why don't you get out of the car and I'll go in the car with her to the hotel. And she starts getting out, and then Brandy attacks me. And she didn't really like attack me as bad as she attacked the other way. It was almost like an autistic child that was just like lashing out. Like she hit me kind of just like but not like really like punching me in the face or anything. So Rebecca was like, no, get out of the car, I will go with her back to the hotel. Like this isn't your responsibility, like you're gonna get hurt. And I think she also was like afraid she was gonna get sued or something, like if I had gotten injured, I don't know. So Rebecca goes back in the car with Brandy, and Brandy starts like assaulting her, like hitting her in the face, slapping her, like just attacking her. And the door shuts, they speed off. So I talked to Rebecca later, and you know, she was just upset. Or no, did I talk to her? I don't think I talked to her. I think I talked to somebody else. I don't know. Someone had called me at some point. But the next day, Brandy was just totally unapologetic. Was like, "Oh yeah, I was drunk." Blah blah blah. And then we spoke on the phone after that, and she was like, "Yeah, she like spoke to the, I guess I don't know, somebody at corporate or whatnot, and they'd said to her like, you are not ever going to be allowed on any like Oxygen show and all this normal stuff, which pretty much you would really, you know, you would think would happen after something like that. And I think the girl Rebecca even quit her job and went to like a different job at a different network because of that incident. So that is the reason why Brandy Arsenic, I believe that's her last name, is no longer allowed on the Bad Girls Club. And I also have to say, that's not rumor. I know people have like all these rumors and stuff. That's not a rumor. I'm telling you 100% what happened because I was 100% there and I witnessed everything myself. So, yeah.